Hello friends, I'm Robin Fiked at Stamping Country. Welcome to my studio. Today we're going to do a fun technique. It's called smooching, and it will add a burst of color in random patterns. You're going to need some plastic wrap or some cling wrap. You could also use little plastic bags for this technique. I am using the saran wrap or the cling wrap. And just sort of crumpling it up a little bit. I don't want it perfectly smooth. I want a crumbly surface. And then just to keep it sort of together, I'm just using some washi tape. You could use some masking tape. Whatever you have on hand, it'll not only will it sort of keep it together, those crumbles, those crunches, but it will also give you little handles. Okay, so that's what we're going to use. That's going to be our ink applicator, if you will. I'm going to use ink spots to apply the color. I have 3 colors. I'm going to start with Daffodil Delight. I like the size of the ink spots, and then I'm going with some Pumpkin Pie. These are traditional autumn colors, and a little bit of Old Olive, and you can just put them wherever you want. Just want to get some color on there, and then I'm going to use my spritzer and just spritz, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 squirts of water. You don't want it overly saturated. Now I'm using shimmery white cardstock because it's a little sturdier for the water than your traditional white cardstock. It'll be able to hold that wetness. And you can see it's got some cool random looks. I wanted just a little bit more, so I'm just smooshing some more off of my plastic. Isn't that so quick and so easy, and it looks fabulous? Then you can blot off. You're going to have some puddles, and you can just blot those. Now I am going to emboss it with my woodland embossing folder. That will give it a little bit of texture. And then we're going to do the Just Breathe. It's from the Colorful Seasons stamp set. I'm using Early Espresso cardstock. I'm stamping on a mat because this is a photopolymer stamp. You may want to make sure to use your embossing buddy. And then we'll ink up our stamp. I'm using Craft Whisper White ink. You could also use Versamark if you wanted, or any kind of sticky ink. And then I will sprinkle on my white embossing powder. Wipe off any excess. Don't worry about it too much because we're actually going to do some cutting. And then we want to heat it until the powder melts into a shiny smooth, until it's shiny and smooth. I like the white against the dark Early Espresso, and then I'm just going to take my snips and cut around the wording. It'll look almost like it's been die cut, but you can do it with your scissors. Just sort of a fun technique. It's bold and it's perfect on those bright colors. Then I'm going to use the Seasonal Layers dies, and my favorite die in the whole set is this very detailed maple leaf. And I'm going to place that on my Whisper White cardstock with some removable tape and place it facing up. Because it's so detailed, if you place it facing up, you'll get a better cut. Then we'll press that out. And then you can use a piercing tool and just get some of that out. Now the cool thing about this die is I never worry if I get it all. I sort of like a little bit of it left in there. It almost looks like it's embossed and cut. So I let it go where it goes. And we're going to cut 2 of those. And then we're going to use a card base. It's thick Whisper White. It's 11 inches by 4 1/4. And then we have a Pumpkin Pie panel that's 4 inches by 5 1/4. And then our smooshed panel was 3 3/4 by 5. We'll use some glue dots to apply our leaves. Uh-oh, it looks like I have a hanging chad. We'll get that off there. And then we'll use some dimensionals to pop up our Just Breathe. It just looks fabulous against this smooshed background. If you enjoyed this video, and I hope you did, be sure to like and subscribe and leave me a comment. Thanks so much for stopping by, and have a fabulous day.